Hey everybody, this is going to be a video where I'm going to run through some of these links, and you're going to continue to see this over and over again where you're going to be seeing the word forced. I've been talking about this, how you have your task force, your space force and all this, the word force has been being put into just our, our daily lives, psychological warfare, where you hear these types of words and they instantly click to some type of a memory or some type of a, situation where you recall something due to that, okay, due to hearing the word. Okay, well, let's run through a few of these, because this is another thing that I don't want to stop talking about because all the kids are going back to school. Okay, well, they're starting to go back to school. I'm not saying all the parents are putting their kids back in school. I'm saying all the schools are starting to open back up. Even though it makes absolutely no sense why you would be putting any kids in school if the virus was as deadly, as contagious, as, everything. Everything that they've been saying, right? If it was true what they were saying, there would be no chance they would even be taking any chance at all with our children, with your most important, your children's, your lives. The lives, they matter the most. They just wouldn't happen, okay? But let's just show the stories going around right now around the United States and around the world. Okay, here is one from August 8th. 116 students were forced to quarantine after one positive CV19 test. Yeah, that's right, after one test. Okay, 116 students. Check it out. It says, with schools opening across America, more reports have emerged of students testing positive for CV19. In Corinth, Mississippi, the Corinth School District decided to reopen schools for in-person learning on July 27th. It says within 5 days, a student tested positive for CV19. The positive CV19 test led to schools officials sending 116 students home to quarantine. Those sent home were reportedly in close contact with the student who tested positive. So they are saying because of one child, 116 people had to be put into quarantine. Now they say at their homes, this is self-quarantine, but trust me, just like New Zealand, these are going to continue to escalate up in seriousness. They will be quarantine camps, and these are just going to be detention centers. That's what this is all going to lead up with. I'm sorry, but it is. You're seeing it everywhere. This isn't something that's that hard to look up. You think it's a conspiracy theory, just go and look up the information. Don't take my word for it, okay? Let's just keep going. This is another one, okay? This is from the 14th of this month. It says, second Martin County Elementary School classroom forced to quarantine. Once again, the word forced. It says, a second Martin County Elementary School classroom will have to quarantine after a student exhibited CV19 symptoms, district officials confirmed Friday. So now in Martin County, not only was it only one child or one student, he was only showing symptoms. It says, 11 students at Hope Sound Elementary will pivot to remote learning for 14 days to quarantine. The school district reopened Tuesday. It says, if the teacher is not experiencing symptoms, they are able to continue streaming lessons from their classroom, district spokesperson Jennifer DeShazo said. The district staff said on Monday were deemed essential workers, meaning the teachers could require to report to work without quarantining. Do you love how they can pick and choose? Just because they're essential, and this is nothing against the teachers, I'm just showing how inconsistent they are with everything, right? Oh, since the staff is now essential, they don't have to quarantine. They can keep coming to work. I mean, that's just so ludicrous. That's all they do is completely just go back and forth, one side of the fence to the other side of the fence. It's just ridiculous, And it says, this is the second case where a classroom was forced to quarantine because of a presumed positive case. Not a positive case. And even if it was a positive test, you already know how, they themselves have said how these are false positive, false negative, etc., etc. They can't trust the test, blah, blah, blah. So not only now will they force you into quarantine if you're around somebody that tested positive, but now they're going to force these people into quarantines even if you're around someone that was presumed positive. Now let's remember, what does it take to be considered presumed positive? What are their, symptoms that are causing this, right? The symptoms to look for. They're everything. Fever, cough, it goes on, and including no symptoms. So they literally have left it wide open, coming into flu seasons as well that I've been talking about, and they're going to be able to use that. There's going to be tons of kids that are going to be showing symptoms of the flu, and they're going to use this, okay? So the next couple months are going to just continue to ramp up. Okay, so here is another story. It says, 2 Texas A&M sororities forced to quarantine after exposure to CV19. It says 2 sororities have now been forced to quarantine after being exposed to CV19. It says the university announced the activities and members of Kappa Kappa Gamma and Delta 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 are experiencing exposure to the virus. Texas A&M has initiated chapter-wide quarantine and contact tracing for those who live in the sorority houses or elsewhere and were in contact. This is what we're going to deal with. This one, Florida superintendent compares reopening schools to Navy SEAL operation as students are what? Forced to quarantine. Another 102 of that Martin County now are forced into quarantine. So it just kept going around here in this Martin, CV19 quarantine now totals 238. They are going to just keep doing this. They can say you have come in contact with somebody, it doesn't matter where you are at. They could say they ran into you at the grocery store, here, there, the gas station, it doesn't matter. This is going to continue to happen. And trust me, we are going to work our ways into these quarantine facilities that New Zealand and other countries are already using, okay? And if you don't think that this is going to happen in the United States, well, let's just check this out really quick. This is from Pennsylvania, and it says, break quarantine, risk legal action. Pennsylvania warns people exposed to CV19. So it says Pennsylvanians who have been exposed to CV19 could be subject to legal action if they violate quarantine. This is where we're headed, okay? I just am trying to stress that is what is about to happen, okay? This says, August 9, 2020, the Pennsylvania Department of Health is warning some Pennsylvanians who have been exposed to CV19 of legal action if they violate quarantine. It says the warning comes in a three-page letter sent to potentially thousands of Pennsylvanians who were in close contact with someone who was positive for the CV. So vague, right? You were in close contact, and how do we know that? Because we're telling you there. Oh, so the government can say anybody was in contact. I mean, this is the reason they left it so vague. They left all these lines so blurred. There was a reason on that, and I keep stressing it, coming into flu season, this is just going to escalate because what's going to happen? You're actually going to see people sick, right? Oh, man. It says, the letter advises recipients to stay indoors for 14 days since their last contact with a positive individual, to take their temperature twice daily, and to cooperate with the department. Hear that part? Cooperate with the department. Yeah. The warning comes in the second to last paragraph. It says, if you do not cooperate with this directive, the Secretary of Health may petition a court to have you confined to an appropriate place chosen by the department to make certain that you do not infect the public and to make certain that you receive proper care. The letter shared on social media and confirmed as authentic by the department says. This letter is only sent to individuals who have been contact traced. A public health tool is in use since the 1920s. for exposure to CV19, Health Department spokesman Nate Wardle told the Capital Star. He could not provide a count on how many warning letters have been sent out. Yeah, I bet you he couldn't, because they're just going to be sending them out to anybody that they want to. This is what is going on. And a subscriber sent me a very, very great picture. This is from a college campus going back to school. And she asked me to keep her name out of this, so I definitely will for her. And I just want to tell you thank you. You know who you were, because we know where this is all headed. We know it's all headed to mandatory vax, and this is all coming, your ID 2020, and eventually, the mark of the beast. I mean, this is what is coming down, okay? This is the image that was sent to me. So as you can see, a couple parts she had redacted because obviously she, can't let that information go out. But we know that it's obviously a college campus, and it says, keep campus healthy. Download the app. Okay? It says, get your health pass daily. It says, scan your pass at building and classroom entrances. You think that pass may eventually not end up being the mark of the beast, correct? Right? The chip that will allow you to do everything that it says? Yes, this is what's happening. This is a step-by-step progression, and we know for sure you will not be able to get this health pass unless you have what? The vax. Please share this information. Please get this out to as many people as you can. You can see the progression. This is a step-by-step plan. It has been since the beginning. We are just starting to get into the later parts of their plan, where it's going to get more and more serious every single day. Thank you all for listening. I hope you all have a great night. We'll talk to you soon. God bless.